lovely to have you with us. It's 1:36 and after her 2 o'clock today, Byron James is going to be in the studio. This is your free advice when it comes to UAE family law. So separation, divorce, custody, what happens if you're different nationalities. And we're also going to be looking at one particular case when it comes to an intersection between family law and digital. What happens if a couple or a separated couple have very different views on their children being posted on social media, especially if money is being made. But Brian can happily help you with anything. 4001, and you can leave your name off if you prefer. We've just been talking about ghost jobs, the listings that might not lead anywhere. And it is fair to say the market could feel quite noisy right now. But there is this flip side. You know, you can't necessarily control what's out there, but you can control how you show up. So we're talking about what makes you stand out in a competitive hiring market right now in the UAE. Wanda's with us today, founder of Kaltan Training and Consultancy. She is a top 15 LinkedIn expert in Dubai and recognised as one of the top, in fact, Wanda, #1 influential Filipina on the platform. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you help professionals, CEOs turn visibility, their personal brand, into real opportunities. How are you today?
Oh, good. Thank you for having me today.
Can I just say, about half an hour before we went live, Wanda sent me a LinkedIn request. So I've got a feeling you've probably been analysing my presence on the platform, and I'm not sure I want your feedback. Tell us a little bit about why you love this platform and why you think it is so important.
You know, when I started using LinkedIn on 2020, it was the pandemic. So, you know, it was very quiet, but I was like, maybe I can do something that can make a difference. So I was talking about first, you know, how I transitioned my career. I started posting whatever I have in mind. I was posting simultaneously on Facebook and then on LinkedIn.
Were you posting the same thing?
Yes, the same thing. Okay. And you know what's weird? On Facebook, sometimes I got bashed for, you know, how I was able to transition my career from audit manager at Emirates Airline to creating my own company and, you know, fulfilling my dream housewife and dream business. So, but on LinkedIn, it's a very different platform. Sharing the same information brought me to getting recognized as #1 most influential Filipina on LinkedIn. And being in Dubai, I was like, how? Right? I was like, how did I impact the Filipinos when I'm here? And that made me understand, wait, this is a very different platform. And it's about just being yourself, and then the opportunities come and find you. And one after another, I mean, these recognitions, as you mentioned it, I'm still, you know, very surprised, very thankful, but it's just really me showing up there.
My problem is, I'm not a shy person, but I feel shy and uncomfortable on LinkedIn because there are these phrases, there's this language, there's a very congratulatory thing about, I am honoured to announce, it's a privilege to tell, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, it makes me feel quite uncomfortable to sell myself. How do you help people overcome that? Or maybe reinterpret what the platform is for, because maybe it's not just about announcing that you are privileged to be awarded XYZ. Help us get past the cringe, Wanda.
And I understand. I've been there. I mean, I've been on LinkedIn since 2006, imagine. But I started to becoming active after 10, 15 years because I don't know I thought it was a job platform. So I wasn't posting. I was afraid what my company will say if they see my post. But I think that time during COVID, I had this, you know, bigger awareness. How can I help others? Because I see myself always stepping out of my comfort zone the moment I'm doing something beyond me. Because if it's just me, I'm just be comfortable, getting my salary, doing my business. But I was like, wait, you know, there's something I can share that I hope can help.
I think that's such a useful reframe, because I think a lot of us imagine LinkedIn as being quite grabby, takey. I want to connect with you. I want to take this from you. And what you're saying is actually, what can I offer? What have I learned that I can share? And then people recognize your value and it comes back to you. Is that fair?
Yes, that's what happened to me actually. And that's why I was like, you know, I did something and then it returned a millionfold in terms of these recognitions. And even today, I know a lot of businesses are struggling. So I started to share more content of, you know, what's causing your revenue inconsistency, what's happening. And a lot of CEOs are reaching out, thank you, Wanda. This is actually something I needed to hear today. And I think that's the question. If you're scared, it's okay. Fear is part of life. It makes us human, right? But why not have faith that you have something that you can share that can help somebody?
And everybody does.
Yes.
Sometimes we just don't realize it, especially
True.
if you've been in a job for a long time and you kind of take for granted that you are not even good at something, you just do something. But from the outside world, what you're doing might be amazing. And they'd love to learn from someone who might have insights into, I don't know, social media or public speaking or whatever it might be. We just kind of go through life being like, well, it's just what I do. But can I ask you, you said you used to think about it just being like a jobs website. Why is it not? And why is it important to have a presence on LinkedIn, even if you're not actively job seeking?
Okay, I'll tell my story, and I think even the clients I work with, initially the Jobin used to be a LinkedIn platform, a job platform, but it was acquired by Microsoft. So the moment of the acquisition changed everything. It became more for businesses and corporates, and even today, it's still very organic. You look at Facebook, Instagram. There's so many social media platforms, but the best thing about LinkedIn, this is where the best people are. The quality leads are. Like in the UAE, there are 10 million actually LinkedIn people. I mean, there are 10 million professionals, CEOs on LinkedIn. That's 90% of the population. I mean, I've accomplished so much from my personal life to my business because I've reached out to that person on LinkedIn. Like last week, I met this chairman. I told him I'm doing this, and he's like, let's talk. Imagine he has 17,000 clients already, and he was like, Wanda, maybe we can work together.
Wow.
And I'm saying, it's good you're scared, but what's on the opposite of fear? Because that could open so much opportunities for you that you're not grabbing it.
Okay, so for someone listening who maybe hasn't updated their profile in years, or maybe hasn't got a profile on LinkedIn because, as you say, they think of it being for other people or they think of it for just purely job seeking, where do you even begin? Where are the quick wins?
See, on LinkedIn, it's always about the impression, right? I mean, in everywhere. But the first impression is always your LinkedIn banner. So what are you promoting there? I mean, I look at your profile. I won't say anything.
No, do you know what, Wanda? I'm a big girl. I can take it.
So the banner itself tells the story. Because in 1 second, I should be able to see what is Helen doing, who is she, and why should I work with her.
See, mine's a bit more complicated because
I saw.
I have a few hats. So I've got the hat I'm currently wearing behind the microphone, but then I've also written children's books and I have social media and I host events and. So I think that's increasingly common. A lot of people have a bit of a portfolio career, even if one job is their main, time spent. And that can be quite confusing in terms of how do you communicate that, because you want people, as you say, to understand as soon as they see that who you are and why, they might want to spend time with you. What do you advise when people are kind of going, well, I do that and I do this, but I want to do that in the future?
I've been in that picture too. I mean, I've done career coaching, executive coaching, training, everything, CEOs. I was like, wait, but I think there's one question that helped me solidify. How do I want to be known and how can I help others? So there's this question, why are you the richest person in heaven?
Oh.
It's a very big question, but it helped me look at, wait, the last 46 years of my existence, what's the biggest impact I made? And I remember, wait, there was this company almost closing during COVID. I helped the CEO, and now they're, multi-billion sale. And I was like, I have done something good there. And if I was able to save that CEO, that company, I could do more of that. So I started to change. You could be doing a lot of things, but if you focus on one thing that you're best at, that could, help a lot of people, that will mean a lot. So you start with that question and then you think of, okay, that's one thing. And how do I recreate my profile so I can talk one thing, be known for one thing, help one person one time?
And I think what you speak to there is how important storytelling is. It's not just about listing experience, but it's about showing impact, showing personality. So we're going to keep Wanda with us. She's the founder of Kaltan Training Consultancy. If you want to send me the word connect, I will send you her LinkedIn, which, as you can imagine, as the #1 influential Filipino in the region, is very active. So you can send me the word connect and I will happily put you in touch. But we are going to be taking your questions next. Noel's asking about advice for polite follow-ups for connections on LinkedIn. So basically, how can you reach out again without being weird. We've also had messages about job seeking on the platform, because ultimately it is a case for many people that is their first port of call. So how can you deal with rejection, or even maybe just not hearing back at all?
Dubai Eye 103.8's weather check.
Winds this afternoon are coming